was me that did that. What were you doing? I thought they were coming after me because I was trespassing, but the door was yellow, so I was very confused. What were you doing, idiot? Oh, did Ralph die? Oh no. Oh, Mick, I'm so sorry. Your husband. Oh no. Whew, okay, well, that's a shame. I guess you'll have to rebrand to Mix. Jeez.
10 minutes later.
Another satisfied customer.
Yeah, I'm so sorry about your partner. Oh my goodness gracious. Ralph dying was unexpected, to say the least. It's just mixed now, bud. Sorry. I have gone on a journey. What does this do? I found a breaker box.
I can tell.
Okay, what do we have? What the fuck is this? Oohness, honest, oohness, honest. What the fuck am I looking at? I could actually probably continue this day. Man, man, what a weird day. What a weird day. People just be, man, I don't know what's going on around here. Hydrate those bones. Exactly, you gotta keep your bones watered. You can't have dry bones, you need moist bones. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. White man jump scare. Welcome, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. We're doing I'm a PNG today because I only have one camera, and we're gonna be painting a Stormcast Eternal here. A reclusian, as it were. Come on camera, focus. Focus, please. I know you want to focus on my paint pots, please, or my water pots. Look at that. White man jump scare. I'm from Moistened Bones, don't worry about it. Welcome JR, Triset, welcome, welcome over on YouTube land. I see Fairy Bread Gremlin, Easy, Toast, Pop, I think I saw Captain also maybe? Welcome one and all to the stream. That Stormcast is not on screen anymore. Hang on, come here. We're painting this fella, maybe. Come on camera, focus. Don't look at my water, camera. Please don't, it's embarrassing. All right, it's not gonna do it. My camera's good, my camera is good, but it doesn't like to focus on things, especially when it apparently wants to look at my water pots, apparently. But welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm gonna put on some music here as well. This is from Chill Hop. I'm actually gonna go ahead and pull up this projector view so I can see it. Oops, that's not where I want it to be. Just so it's I kind of got a camera view of it as well. But yeah, welcome everybody. My mic is over here. I remember that. Yeah, today's gonna be kind of a cozy little stream. I'm just a PNG tuber, because I only have the one camera. I might be a little loud. I found the Duke Redeemer right there. Oh, it's fair. It'll cost you $2.50. But yeah, I guess you're gonna watch a burger at 9:30. Nice. Hand reveal, right? Hand reveal. I warned you, it's gonna be a white man jump scare. Because I am very pale, very white. But yeah, hell yeah, nice. I'm hoping this will be a nice second monitor kind of a stream here. But yeah, I'm painting a reclusian today. I've never done this before. This is completely new for me in terms of my content creation journey. I've never done any sort of I guess crafty type thing like this. Oh no, you're right. It's channel points. It's not $2.50. You're right. It's channel points for the dude. So I'm a little nervous. I'm in fact very nervous. I did want to start off by kind of going over some of the things that I've previously painted before we get too into it, I guess. I've got brushes over here. I got a whole fistful of brushes, various sizes and whatnot. I've got my paints. The color scheme has changed from what I originally, if any of you are on Twitter, the color scheme has changed. It went from blue and iron hands to like a lightish sort of blue steel color and then fire. The color scheme went full 180. So the color scheme has changed. I got my water here for washing off my brushes and watering down my paints. I have a poor man's wet palette, i.e. paper towels and parchment paper. So we got that. Oh, I also have more brushes. I got a pot full of brushes here. So I've got a lot prepped for it, but got my palette, which is gonna be very, very sad, because it's just plastic, little cheap fucking. I think my wife got this from a watercolor set or something like that. But yeah, God King Bull, welcome to the stream. Hope everyone got a lovely Thursday. Thank you for the follow. Danger Prongs? I can look straight ahead. I'm doing the projector. Danger Prongs! That's a fantastic name, by the way. Thank you so much for the follow. But yeah, a brief history of my painting journey. I'm gonna put him in my rib cage, so he is currently in prison. This is my first model I've ever painted. Before we get into the Raccoon, I want you to sort of see like where I'm starting with this, right? This is my first mini I ever painted. And it's gonna fight me. It's gonna fight me. I know it's going to fight me. This is Gustav Baker. I painted him in. Oh, come on, focus, please. Come on, camera. Don't look at that. Don't look at her. Look at me. Yeah, this is Gustav Baker. He's for a D&D game that I played at a local game shop when I used to live in Virginia. And he's the first mini I ever painted. He's fine. I wonder if I could like. I wonder if this would help at all. If I like held Gustav on a more featureless background. It won't. He's fine. He's very much a case where I didn't know quite what I was doing. And he's okay. He's very much okay. He's got some color, he's got some shading, he's got some good contrast to him, but he's just a Ranger, Air Genasi Ranger. So that's my first ever mini I painted, like I said, I think back in 2016. That's an 8-year-old mini at this point. While not my first Space Marine, I painted this Primaris Lieutenant with Storm Shield when I first started getting back into Warhammer about a year ago. Hang on, I think y'all are the issue here. I'm gonna spill water all over my desk. Y'all are the issue. The water is the issue here. This is why I have napkins. Because I will spill, because I'm very clumsy. That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, this is a Primaris Lieutenant with Storm Shield. This is, I want to say, my 6th Warhammer model that I ever painted. There's a lieutenant or a sergeant somewhere, or just a Space Marine in my box that is very much is the first model. Like, man, it's just focusing on the wrong shit. Let me tell you. Whatever. And he's a lot better. I followed some tutorials in particular on how to paint this thing. And so, like, but he is definitely a lot better. The decal's not great, but he has some little details that I don't know if it'll focus on. I wish it would. Like, on the purity seals and whatnot. And I'm really proud of this Marine, of the Lieutenant. Welcome, non-binary. I'm just going over some of my history of painting before I get into my Reclusian. I'm very proud of how this Marine turned out, this Lieutenant turned out, just because it is one of my more early type things. So I'm very proud of how he turned out. Shortly after, I was kind of just testing some extra paints. I painted this white Dragonborn, and it's fine. The color scheme's kind of a mess. It's all over the place. But, you know, it turned out well enough. But this is just me experimenting with sorts of things. And speaking of experimentations, one of my more wacky color schemes I've done is this Vaporwave kind of, come on, focus. It's like it really wants to focus on to the left for some reason. Focus. Come on. Oh, you can't really see it, but it's like a comic booky kind of style Hormigaunt in Vaporwave colors. The pink, the white, and the sort of like darker greenish blue. Right? Oh man. But it has a lot of like the deep black lines and the outlining on it, and you can't really see it because it doesn't want to focus. But it was meant to sort of look like Borderlandsy, because once upon a time I wanted to paint my Soulblight Gravelords in sort of this color. Thank you for the bits, Captain. Well, thank you so much. It's not finished because this was just an experiment, and I don't play NIDS, and this does not fit my wife's color scheme. Let me tell you. But it was a fun experiment to sort of play around with that sort of like I said, comic booky kind of art style, sort of Borderlandsy, right? So that was kind of an experiment. My main army is, of course, the Soulblight Gravelords, and so I have this little Skelly Boy, because of course I have to play Skelly Boy. And God, this fucking camera. I wonder if I could just hang on. This thing's a problem. Thank you for the follow, Falcon Drive. Thank you. I'm just gonna get rid of this real quick because it's causing me so much grief and it's driving me up the freaking wall. Get out of here. I don't need a mouse pad for now. You can earn your place tomorrow. There's dust and shit everywhere. I'm good, thank you. My wife is delivering me a wet palette. Thank you. Yeah, for brushes. She's delivering me. Apparently, I get to use her wet palette. Thank you. Thanks. Apparently, I'm gonna have an official wet palette, not the poor man's wet palette I was planning on. But anyway, I think there might be too much water here, but no, fair. Oh, wait, no, we'll keep it nearby. Anyway, Gravelords. And now it's gonna want to focus on. I was delivered things to like that are good, that are taking away the purpose of me getting rid of my thing. Here, let's scoot you over that away. Just get you out of the frame for half a second here. Okay, here we go. What a liver reveal, goodness. Space all about the dark. Hell yeah, is he? I'm not a big Space Skelly fan, but I am a fan of these Skelly boys. There's just so many things that it wants to focus on, and it's driving me up the wall. What is it? Okay. He has some chipping, because I'm not the most careful with my minis. Come on, focus, you rat bastard. I want you to look at my skeleton. It's not going well. But anyway, I play skeletons. I play Gravelords. This is sort of the color scheme. Dark iron with a bit of Space Wolves gray as the cloak. Not all of them. Some of them have some purple on them. My Graveguard in particular purple on them. But they're a very cool kind of a color scheme. Then I have my Guard, which I have not played any 40k. I've played Age of Sigmar. But my Guard are Halo color schemed, Halo 1 color schemed. Come on. You want to do it. You don't want to do it. But anyway, they're Halo color schemed. I want them to have a kind of an urban thing, so they have a little bit like a road basing to them. But they're Halo 1 color scheme, so they have like a kind of denim color with the brown armor plating, or brownish armor plating. But that's sort of my history on like painting minis so far. I only have so many under my belt thus far. And so we will be getting into... We free him. We free him from his confines of my ribcage. Thank you, Captain, for the dude. So we'll get into the Reclusians. So I'm not a huge Reclusian, like I'm not a big Stormcast player, right? I play Gravelords are my main army, but we got the Skaven type box, of course. And so, but like we got the Skaven type box, and my wife really wanted to get the Skaven, but so I was like, okay, well I'll take the Stormcast. I don't hate the Stormcast, and they have some really cool models, especially since they revealed some new ones earlier today. I'm trying to paint. I'm trying to shake my paint. Excuse me. Possibility Skeleton, welcome. Have you played Vermintide from the 40k service? I have not played any of the Vermintide games or Darktide. I want to, but I have not. just because I haven't taken the time to, more than anything. And also very much type of games where it's like, you know, you play them with people, which I'm sure I could find people to play them. There are plenty of people who are into like 40k and Sigmar and things like that, and they're Left 4 Dead, but you know, Warhammer, right? But you know, that's all it is. And I love Left 4 Dead. I liked Back 4 Blood. I like Killing Floor 2 in particular. But so like I have an interest in it. I just need people to play it with. Is more the biggest thing with it. I really don't want to play it by myself because it is not a solo player kind of game. So here's the idea of the color scheme. I don't have all the colors out. I actually need to dig into my thing for it. Is I'm going to take some Grey Knight Steel for the armor pieces of this Reclusian. Where's my one size brush? For like the armor pieces of the Reclusian, the general armor pieces, the armor plating, things like that. You know, here on the arms, probably the head as well. And that's gonna be the general armor for it. I have some Runelord brass for the other metallic pieces. So like this, the sun bit above it, above him, the shoulder pauldrons here and here. Potentially there's some chainmail. I don't know if you can see the chainmail tucked away into here, and that will be that. And then potentially other like sort of detailing kind of things. Like I said, the shoulder pauldrons and the sun are sort of the big ones for that. What is this? This is Phalanx Yellow. I'm gonna put as the inside of the cloak here. And honestly, at that point, since it folds over, the outside here as well. But this is the inside kind of area of the cloak. It's very weird. It like wraps around and it's very not consistent. But the interior sides of these cloak areas are going to be this bright yellow color. The main color for the outside of the cloak, so everything like as it folds around in here and this whole back piece here, I'm going to do in a contrast for Blood Angel's red. Just so we have that sort of color there. And then sort of towards the top parts of the outside of the cape, or the cloak, and sort of like back down maybe behind this shield a little bit, is going to be layered with Troll Slayer orange. Try and give it a little bit of a fire look to it, and hopefully that won't turn it too bad. I don't have them pulled out just yet, but I plan on doing another contrast paint, I believe it's Wildwood, for the leather wrappings on the axes. And then Gray Sear, which I think we have, I'm not 100% on that, for some other little detailing. So like the bird, I assume it's like it's supposed to be a griff hound kind of skull type thing on the pauldron. The little bit of the skull here. There's another skull on the kneecap. And then others kind of small details like that. I might do some Iron Warriors on the chain as well here. Just so we can kind of keep going with that. And then, like I said, we'll kind of go from there. I'll probably end up using some Skeleton Horde on the skull down here. There's other small details. I'm not sure quite what I want to do with the axe head. If I want to make it a different metal color or if I want to make it more stone. In all reality, I might do Iron Warriors for that. And maybe do some Basilicanum Gray over the top of it. And then, of course, I need to do the runes embedded in the axe, which I want to try and give a glow, which I haven't done a whole lot of. You know, with this Primaris Lieutenant, it's not going to focus, but there's a bit of red on top of the plasma pistol here that I tried to do some glow on, but it didn't quite turn out as glowy as I would have liked. So I don't have a ton of experience with that. And then, like, you know, the shield itself, you know, it'll end up being probably that Runelord brass as the edging with the red in the center, and then I'm going to do the Gray Sear over the top with this sort of detailing here. So that's the general plan. There's, like I said, there's other little smaller details. I'm not quite sure what I want to do with the sword and the sheath and everything like that, but we will burn that bridge when we get to it. I have two waters here. One for the more metallic paints in the Grey Knight Steel and the Runelord Brass. Now, technically, Grey Knight Steel isn't a metallic. It's denoted by the cap. The white cap for Citadel pots is metallics. This isn't technically a metallic, but it looks metallic enough, and that's what I'm counting it as. Everything else is going to go for the other water as well. There. So yeah, that was a lot of things that I was kind of going over, trying to explain my thought process here. Also, JR, you watched the first episode of Mashal? Loved it? Awesome. Glad to hear it. Mashal's fantastic. Love that Mashal. I have shaky hands, I can't keep still for you. I love painting. I think that's fair. I mean, my hands are relatively sturdy, but we'll see how this goes. We'll have to see how this goes. These are some of the more bulky models, because like even compared to the Lieutenant, you know, they're comparable in size, but even then they are a little bit bigger. So I am a little nervous about that, because painting bigger things is intimidating. It is intimidating, sort of just across the board. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get into it. I don't know how much I'll be talking while I do this. I'll try and keep things as entertaining as I can. Just trying to shake up this paint. It's a new paint. I bought it fairly recently. Okay. It's a brand new paint. And I've never used an actual wet palette before, so I don't know what to expect from this. I'm quite honestly used to using my poor man's method. Ugh. So I'm just gonna get started in here, because if I talk too long without doing anything, then I'll get nervous, then I'll get scared. That's very bright. I'm gonna put it over there. And so the thing is, and here's the thing, if you came here expecting like tips and tricks on how to paint better, you're gonna be left sorely lacking, because I am not an expert by any means. I know some of the basics. I know that, you know, that's gonna be the metallic one, I guess. Hopefully I remember that. I know you need to thin your paints down to about a sort of milky texture. It doesn't take a lot of water. It takes enough to mix it in. You gotta mix it in, because if you have it be too thick, and then you run into issues where it kind of just gets streaky and clumpy and it doesn't look as good. You don't want to lose too many details, and having your paint be too thick can do that, to my understanding. Remember, I'm by no means an expert in this. But so I just kind of get a little bit on the brush. That might be a little too thin even. That's a bit better. And then we just start. Go ahead and start on his head, since I'm looking at it currently. I tested this. I should be able to lean forward a fair amount, because I didn't want the top of my head to accidentally enter the frame. It took me about 20 minutes to figure out the right angle that I wanted to do here. And get the camera set up and everything. And this is the one thing, this was something that I kind of struggled with in particular, was wanting to make sure that I held my minis a certain way while I painted. But one thing that I've learned as somebody who's not very good at this, and very relatively new to painting in general, is it doesn't really matter how you hold your minis, as long as you can get to where you need to get to and where you want to get to without, you know, causing damage to the mini or being uncomfortable for your hand. If you're comfortable, then you're going to be able to paint a bit better. You know, if your hands are struggling, or if it's in a weird angle, and you're not going to get the results you want, at least in my opinion. painting is like a number of things where if you don't like it or you're suffering from doing it, then you're not going to get the results you want. All the technical skill in the world. You can tell when you're not having a good time doing something. I don't know about that. Let's see. Do you have any tips on starting? I've actually never painted a mini before and I might want to do it for D&D. Honestly, just find some colors that you like. Find a mini that you like and just kind of do it. The nice thing is about with like WizKids minis, I have several that I haven't painted back here, is that they're very cheap. Like you can get a 2-pack of like just whatever pre-primed WizKids minis. This is me shilling for WizKids. Do what you want. WizKids isn't a great company, but they do make some cheap minis that aren't the worst quality in the world. You can get like a 2-pack of things for like $5. So just like go pick up a couple models that you like. They're very durable. They're really rubbery, which is both a blessing and a curse. As you can see with this Dragonborn here, the axe is very floppy, and it kind of it's bent. You know, crooked axe, but they come pre-primed, so you don't have to worry about priming them. But you just go get them, grab some paints that you like. The paints are the expensive part. That's the problem. The paints are the expensive part at that point. And then just kind of start going at it. I do think painting is one of those things that, like, you can watch all the guides in the world, you can read all the books that you want, but you really do need to get in and just start doing it, kind of a thing. I think you really need to just commit to doing it. Grab some paint, or just go grab some cheap acrylic paints. They're not the best in the world, but you can get away with them. You water them down similarly as you would with like actually like other. I'm talking craft paints because technically Citadel paints are acrylic as well. But if you just get some paints from your local hobby store, I would advise you not buy from Hobby Lobby, but sometimes that's the only option you have. You can go to Walmart, you can go to Target, you get some cheap hobby paints. You can make almost any color you like from the primaries, so you can just kind of start going with that. And then just start doing it. Like, that's all I got, really. Have you drank paint water on accident before? I have not yet, non-binary. I have not drank paint water on accident before. Primarily because I do put my water in receptacles I would never drink from. So I kind of help avoid that by knowing, like, I'm never going to drink out of an old ricotta cheese tub or an old yogurt cup. Like, I never drink from those naturally. Which I do think has helped in my case for not drinking paint water. Not to say it'll never happen. I'm very accident prone after all. I say accident prone, but honestly it's my own stupidity that causes things to happen to me. Which I feel is true of most people, but a lot of people would never admit to it. It's actually not as much armor plating as I really expected from this guy. Kind of wild. For some reason I expected to do a lot of armor plating. There really isn't that much. All things considered. Like, the chest plate's basically just that. Yummy paint water. You can sign into Epic Games with Lego. Really? You can, like, connect your Lego account? My Epic Games account is tied to my PlayStation account, which is kind of a problem because it means I need to remember my PlayStation account. I guess it also kind of helps because I have to remember my PlayStation account at that point, but, you know. I'm thinking about doing this. Thank you for the dude, Pop. I've been thinking about maybe doing this once a week for a little bit. the high energy for streaming is very hectic, especially during the week after I do a full work day and everything. Ugh. So maybe I'll start doing like Thursday paint days. I've been thinking about it. Help me make some progress on my Stormcast and eventually my guard and my Gravelords and everything else I need to paint. Mostly my Gravelords, because I really need to finish them if I want to have a full 2,000 points. I'm nowhere close to my guard. And with Age of Sigmar 4th just releasing within the last month, it would be nice to be able to have that ready to go, kind of a thing. Say, watching me draw is much boring. Apple Barrel, very good. Well, I mean, they're very good for cheap pots of things, yeah. I think Eons of Battle did a comparison of like cheap craft paint type things and to see how well they would work for Warhammer paints, and Apple Barrel, I think actually worked surprisingly well. And it's a good cheap kind of option. It's a little thick. It's a little thick. Apple Barrel was one of the better craft paints that they tested for painting their minis, their models, which is surprising, but apparently that one did work very well. It's too watery. It was too thick. Now it's too watery. Thank you for the bits. Just a bunch of various emotes and things. Nice. You do average Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Oh no, skeleton. Imagine a jump scare in the stream. I would never do that. I'm not a jump scare person. That's why I don't have any like jump scare redeems, because while I'm sure it would be hilarious to watch me defecate myself and evacuate my bowels due to a jump scare from just from a Twitch redeem, I know it also would affect people watching. I'm not a jump scare person. Not even from a perspective of like I think it's a cheap scare. I don't like being scared, just kind of in general. So I don't do it. Can you decide if that's an armor down there or if that's just a strap? I think it's armor, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint it as such. I'm gonna eat forward, here I am. That's fair. I'm not, like I said, I'm kind of wanting these a little bit more like kind of low energy type things. It gets very tired after working all day to then jump into a stream after having to like make dinner or figure out dinner and what have you. But so something like this is kind of nice, even from my perspective. It's not too hectic. I still, you know, obviously I want to be entertaining, but I don't feel like I need to maintain a certain level of energy. The energy here is purely to relax, end a day on some painting. Got a little paint on the hand there, but that's fine because I can always cover it up. The ideal, of course, would be you don't have to cover it up, but these are Warhammer levels. Any mini you paint, you're gonna get some. Probably gonna get some. I won't say will, because some people have a much steadier hand than me. Also, people who take more care than me. I think actually, what the hell is that? I think that's just cloth, so I'm just gonna leave that. I'm talking in an ADHD friendly. It's very ADHD fine. I'm glad to hear that. Is this ADHD friendly? I never really thought about it that way, I guess. The funny thing is that, like, I wasn't even sure when I was setting this all up if I was like, you know what, am I gonna do like a calm voice kind of a thing? Am I gonna try and do what other people do, where they just kind of talk in a soothing kind of tone? And funnily enough, I guess it just naturally happens. The reason people do it is because it just sort of happens that way. Maybe it's the act of focusing on something that requires a little bit more of your attention that causes you to, I don't know, talk this way. I do imagine that talking like this is actually kind of out of the norm. Most people who paint miniatures don't talk. They put on an audiobook or a YouTube video or a stream or something, and then they just kind of start going at it. So I guess this is kind of out of the norm, huh?
Boo ha ha, bet I scared you. Also skull and crossbones painting, face rolling on the floor, laughing loudly, crying, smile index, pointing up, thumbs up, office building, tears of joy, open mouth, smile, disappointed index, pointing up, light skin tone, party, popper, gift, airplane, arrival, face with monocle, collision, nerd, face, skull, confetti, zany, face, moai, tired, build, cat, mirror, all, crying, grin, eye, woman in steamy room, moai, 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 airplane, arrival, office building, office building.
Goodness gracious. Let's calm that down a little bit. Thank you so much for the sound alert. But let's keep it on the shorter side. I even looked when I was looking at sound alerts to try and see if there's a way for me to limit the length of them, because, boy, that's what I wanted to avoid. But there isn't, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer. Thank you so much, Captain. But please, keep it on the shorter side next time. How's that looking? There we go. If anything else, I'm grateful for you testing how long, though, something like that would take. And to present a learning opportunity for both myself and chat in general. Oh, why is your leg all the way back there, you absolute buffoon? Let's get your greaves going, I guess. Your greaves and your little booties. So you speak. I'm glad to hear it, Pop. Never thought about it that way, but I'm glad to hear it nonetheless. There's some bits here. So I primed these using a zenithal, because I will be using some contrast paints in here, but also I do like the idea of, if I miss a spot, like in the shadows, if it's black under there, you're never gonna know. You'll just see a darker spot back there, and it's like, oh, it's shadow. It's great. Works out very well. It's a good way of hiding your mistakes. Or if you can't quite get to a spot, then it just looks like shadow. And you can get away with that. You gotta remember, I have to like kind of cheat to the camera a little bit so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm just painting the boot right now with more of that granite steel kind of color. It's got that, yeah. Ads do support the channel as much as they suck. I appreciate you if you sit and watch through them, but I understand if you don't like them. Because I don't like ads either, but they do eventually support the channel. They will eventually support me. And that's true of anyone that you watch on Twitch. Trust me, we all understand. Like every Twitch streamer understands nobody likes ads. That's just kind of the truth of the world. Nobody likes ads. But at the end of the day, they do support your favorite streamers. Not saying I'm your favorite streamer. But they do support your favorite streamers. And of course, the solution to getting rid of ads is to subscribe to your favorite streamers. Again, not saying subscribe to me. I probably will never ask anybody to actually subscribe to me. If you want to subscribe, great, I'd appreciate it, but I'm never gonna do... I wouldn't say I would never do a subathon. I don't want to discount something that could potentially happen in the future, and I know subathons are very, very popular for VTubers, streamers in general. But it's definitely not on the cards in the near future. But it's a good way to support your favorite streamers. Sit, watch their ads. It's a free way to support your streamers at that. If you can't afford a subscription. So anyone else you watch, i.e. not me, sit through their ads. Take that minute and a half to go get some water. Go get a snack. Go to the bathroom. Take care of yourself. Practice a little self-care, right? But leave it running. Leave it on. Let it play in the background while you get up and do whatever you want to do for that minute and a half. And your streamer will appreciate you for it. Fun fact, the inventor of pop-up ads apologized. Yeah, I knew that, actually. I did know that. They felt very bad about the evil that they had brought into the world. See, like, this is a circumstance. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's a bit of the leg that's just visible through here. Of the greave that's just visible through here. I could probably leave it. I do want to try and paint it, though. Because I will do a wash over these. And it should darken it up. But it's very much the kind of thing where it's like, if I had left that just the black primer, I don't think anybody would have faulted me for it, because it would have just been a deep shadow, considering it's directly under the reclusion. It is under the main bulk of the model is what I was trying to say. But it's those little things that you could get away with, but I'm an annoying prick and I can't do it. I mean, yeah, I feel like that's actually all the armor plating. If you're streamers, you're one of my favorites. Thank you, non-binary. That means a lot to me, actually. Saying the bob that gives that's the best part. Showing 140p, yeah, doing a download will do that. Doing a download will certainly do that. Since this was kind of thinned down, I could probably get away with doing the second coat of the Grey Knight steel, and I probably will. No, excuse me. Do I want more paint? I got. I don't want to use too much. Really, oh crap! Fair, nice. The writer of how you eat 3 more spiders that came forward and tried to apply to a known list. That's the joke. That's where Spiders George came from. The fact that you eat 3 spiders. What is it? A night or a day? Or 3 or more spiders in your sleep is an outlier. Spiders George eats 80,000. Or Spiders George eats 80,000 is an outlier and should not be counted. Classic Tumblr post. So now I'm doing my second coat over this because you really just want common, I guess, advice is that when it comes to your models, you want to do 2 thin coats. I don't know if Duncan Rhodes started that, but that's the general advice, is you want to do 2 thin coats of your colors. I don't really know why, if I'm perfectly honest. But that's the common advice. I think it's something to do with that it covers up your like paintbrushes. I was watching Cabal paint their Thousand Suns last week, a couple weeks ago, and they were talking about how when you do it, and I haven't been doing this because I'm dumb, is with your first coat is you paint in one direction. So like if you paint vertically this way for like this chest piece, on your second coat you would paint horizontally to try and smooth out the lines between them. So the paint strokes aren't as visible. In the theater, what you do is you paint in X's. But again, that's on a macro scale to kind of hide those paint lines. I'm too lazy and don't pay enough attention to do that. I try my best, especially learning like applying both my knowledge from working in the theater and after watching Cabal's stream, that it makes complete and total sense to do those opposite hatching. But like I said, I'm too dumb and too lazy to really commit to doing something like that. Watch a full stream of. I'm glad to hear that, Pop. That actually does mean a lot to me, knowing that I'm one of the few, or if the only, to maintain someone's attention. Because I can't maintain my own attention a lot of the time. Okay, I want to get back in there. Again, another similar thing. I tried to get back here, behind the cloak. I could have absolutely left that, because no one's going to look at that. If it was, and the thing is, it would be black. It just looked like it's in deep shadow. It wouldn't have mattered either way. But I wanted to get it because I would know. Oh, thank you for the hydrate toast. I do have the hydrate still on. And the posture check and the stretch. Alright, everybody stretch. Oh. I sound much appreciated. I have them there for fun more than anything. Thank you for the shadow, Captain, of course, but I have them there for fun. I know not everyone can afford those things, so it's, you know, they're there for whatever. Yeah, no, it's fine. Winter bones. Actually, I'm gonna do those for last. Let's go do the pauldrons now. There are elements to this little duder that I'm not 100% on what I want to do with. Like his gloves here, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do there. But as with everything else when I'm painting, we shall burn that bridge when we come to it. I don't know how many songs I have in this playlist. I have a suspicion it won't carry us the full 2 hours, but again, we will just sort of see how it goes and play things by ear. Just watch. That's all I ask. That's truly the only thing that I ask. Is if you can come and watch, please do, and if you can't, go watch the pod. I mean, that's the one thing that I like. If you're looking at getting into streaming and whatnot, not saying that I'm a foremost expert on this, but I do think every streamer should have a VOD somewhere, whether it's an actual VOD channel or it's like you have a separate channel and you upload videos elsewhere. Just something that to house your previous streams for people who can't make the live shows. I know a lot of people just don't even upload their VOD unedited, because that's all I do, is I put them up unedited. You can connect your Twitch super easily. Just have it upload as soon as you're done streaming. It's not the best system. I've used that in the past and it works fine. As long as you don't want to do anything too crazy with it, but that's just my one bit of advice. Anyone who wants to possibly get into streaming in general. Guess feel your organs move. I feel that's you reach a certain age and that's just your everyday. That spell, I'm immune to that spell. Also, Skeleton, have you ever played Death Stranding? I haven't. Mostly because I didn't have much of an interest in it. I'm not to say anything against the guy, but I'm not a Kojima fan. Like, I'm not a Metal Gear Solid fan. I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game. And I'm just generally not, I have no other reason to really be that big of a fan of his. So I didn't buy the hype. I didn't get into the hype of Death Stranding because it's a Kojima game or anything like that. And then when I saw the actual gameplay for Death Stranding, it didn't interest me. So I haven't played it. It's just one of those games that I never had much of an interest in. Fates Away Toast, no. Domain expansion, let's go gambling. Let's go gambling. Oh man. Let's go gambling. Oh man. I don't know if any of y'all noticed. I actually updated my my PNG to be a GIF. It's actually technically not even a PNG. I just talk when I talk now, which before it just opened the mouth. I did that earlier today. I also set up Fugi Reactive because I do want to do more collabs kind of in the future, like moving forward. I haven't committed to it yet, but I would like to do at least like minimum one collab a month, I think, just so I can get out there and kind of beat my introvert and social anxiety, so I can bludgeon it with a cudgel of talking to other people and interacting with other streamers and other VTubers and things like that. I'd like to meet more people and support them and whatnot. Like, I want to play more games with Morg, I want to play more games with Lixie, I want to put together some other collabs with other people. So I decided, you know, if I'm going to do that, I should actually probably have Fugi properly set up. And so I made this GIF for Fugi with the express intention of it being for that, and then I was like, you know what? I could use that for my PNG instead of it being just a PNG. I could actually have it move and look like I'm talking a bit while I am actually talking. Still not great. It's one frame every few milliseconds. It's not that deep, not that in like complex of a GIF. But it's more interactive than it was, than just a single frame between closed and open. It actually kind of keeps going rather than just, like I said, I talk and the mouth just hangs open like a fish. But anyway, yeah, I wanna do more collabs. I wanna try and play games with more people, meet more people, things like that. Skinflesh, don't worry about it. It's my favorite answer to give people. It's not even just UJR. It's anybody who asks a question that's like a little like that's like outside of like lore, right? It's like, don't worry about it, because I tried to come up with some lore. I was like, oh. The initial lore that I had for why I would, if I did hand cam streams, would be like, oh, I found this body and I hooked up some diodes to it, and now I can control it through a computer. And basically, it's like, this is a corpse that I'm piloting. But also at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm not that lore heavy of a VTuber. I'm very much just myself on a thing. So I was like, who cares? I'm just me. But I have a skeleton persona. It's this one over here. This little idiot right here. Let me just. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Leaving, go sleep. Goodness gracious, Poppy, get some sleep. Good night. Jeez, get some rest. Okay, that's about it actually for the Grey Knight Steel. surprisingly. I thought there was a lot more in this, but I guess not. Can't really tell much of a difference. The camera is not helping, but it, yeah, it's very much just blocked in some kind of things there. I guess. What do I do next? Inflatable costumes for the floor. That's fair. I'm an animatronic, actually. A hyper articulated animatronic. Debating doing just moving on to the Rune Lord brass and doing like the rest of the metal bits. Well, maybe get some Iron Warriors over here. If I did all the metal. So this would be like for the pauldron base, because the gray seer is going to go over top of it here. The chain, this pauldron, the sun thing back here. Maybe the chain underneath here and here. I think I'll do that. Is that the bite of 87? Is that the bite of 87? He wants the bite of 87. I chew on my paintbrush. How's that feel? How do you feel about that? Actually, I need to get that lore of which one, that I'm an animatronic or that I'm piloting a corpse. Both are, well, one's significantly less fucked up than the other. Let's move on to the Rune Lord brass. I didn't do a test model with this color scheme, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but my wife, who is an artist, said it would look good, so I'm believing her. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That'll get me banned for sure. Y'all, if I get banned on Twitter because of that, well, if I get banned, period, you know why. You know why. The bite was caused by Clyde, not T. Freddy. It's so funny. You know, obviously, like, I was on the internet at the time when Five Nights at Freddy's was first starting to kind of become popular, and witnessed the meteoric rise of Markiplier. Just how memed on that became. Was that the bite of 87? Just very funny to me. Very, very funny to me. Let me see that. I think that's kind of the thing. Like, the Grey Knight Steel really actually doesn't have any metallic flecks in it, but the Rune Lord brass actually does. Like, there's actual metallic flakes in the metallics, which my Iron Warriors might be in danger because of that at that point. You need to sneeze? Oh no. I was so mad at Mark. That's kind of the thing. Back then, we didn't know better. Like, there was not the interlocking lore that Five Nights at Freddy's has now back then. It was all speculation. It was all just piecing a little bit of things that we had together kind of a thing. Which is why, like, it's kind of funny. Like, some of the knowledge also that, like, what's his nuts? Scott Cawthon changed some of the lore because Matt Pat, like, nailed it, apparently. Like, he guessed it 100% right, and so he changed bits of the lore, I think in either Five Nights 2 or Five Nights 3, because Matt Pat got it right. Which I find very funny. Oh yeah, Matt Pat also, like, the meteoric rise of... Game theory was pretty big at that point anyway, but Five Nights at Freddy's just was such a boon to that channel in particular. Now I gotta be a little bit more careful because I don't want to get this Runelord brass on the Grey Knight steel areas. And this is where my hands are shaky enough that it'll become a problem. But that's just a theory. So creating my fans around for really into it. A lot of people still are. My wife, she still really likes Five Nights. Now, granted, she primarily only consumes Five Nights through watching Markiplier play it, still. But she still really likes Five Nights. She watched and thought the movie was fine. Not bad, not great. But yeah, my wife is a big fan. One of those things, right, where like, as long as what you're into doesn't hurt anybody else, unless of course you play like a combat sport or something, I don't see much shame in liking what you like. As cringy as it might be, like, from other standpoints kind of a thing. My camera is not pleased with what's happening, but it's gonna have to fucking live with it. Like I said, you know, I still consider myself a homestuck. I see people who go like, oh yeah, I was into that. And it's fine if you're not into it anymore. A lot of people, your interests change and things like that. I don't really actively consume much homestuck stuff, like media, anymore. But I still consider myself a homestuck. A lot of people would shy away from that and, you know, be afraid of being called cringe and whatnot for liking it, or they're embarrassed about liking it when they're in their younger days. But I think at a certain point, this might be just because I'm a bit older now, fuck them. It just kind of becomes the mentality, at least for me. You like what you like, and like I said, and again, this kind of feeds into it. And also, you can be embarrassed about what you liked in the past, especially if it was something that might be a bit like more, I don't know, I guess problematic would be the word. But I'm very much of the opinion that it's like, you don't need to be embarrassed about liking something from your older days. A lot of those things like will shape you into what, like, the person you are, the person you become, and as long as you're not a shithead, well, then that's fine. So I see no problems in still being into Five Nights at Freddy's, being really into Five Nights at Freddy's. A lot of people are into things and enjoy things much more intensely than others. And that's just how you engage and enjoy the media and your interests. You also do have to bring into consideration others. You know, if it's, I hesitate to say annoying, because annoying is kind of more of a personal problem. If you find someone who is passionate about something annoying, but in the case of like spamming other people's chats, or spamming a Discord channel, or spamming a YouTube comment section or something like that, it can get a little bit weird. Participating to the detriment of others. And while I do say, like, you should enjoy things the way you want to, you do still have to be considerate of others. But that said, enjoy what you like. Enjoy it to this extent that you're going to enjoy it. And as long as you're not hurting other people, or causing other people grief, then what does it matter? Except like a more in Undertale here. I'm currently a game called Fear and Hunger 2. Why? Because people game monsters do not play for you will get banned. I know a little bit about Funger. I think I watched Randon Nuring play a little bit of the first Funger. Not a lot. Not the type of game I'd be super into, I don't think. So I kind of dropped it. But I know a bit about Funger. And Yes. Yes, I would get banned on Twitch. It's honestly a miracle that he could play it on YouTube. Though YouTube's weirdly a little bit more like forgiving with that kind of thing. I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. Same non-binary. Homestuck is a part of who I am. Primarily because it's a part of how I met my wife. So I kind of have to have a deeper appreciation for it. Let's see here. I want to get up into here, but I'm worried about his little head. Because yes, head, and it's a problem. Yes, here. Damn it, bud. So many things wrong with it. I know, like, I think it's in Funger 2. There's the dude whose dong is just out in the wind. That'll get you banned. That'll get you banned. Though maybe there's arguments about artistic nudity regarding things like that. Because I know, like, when Cyberpunk came out, a bunch of streamers were blindsided by the presence of booba and beepus while they were streaming. But I think only a handful of them got banned before Twitch was like, no, it's fine. Talk about Pocket Cat. Well, I don't think I want to know what that is. My line of questioning begins and ends at nothing. You know, this Rune Lord brass does look very good with the Rune Fang steel, or whatever the hell it is, the Grey Knight steel. My wife, she knows what the hell she's talking about. God, it looks good. I'm very pleased with how that looks. If my camera was better, at least for this sort of situation, you'd be able to see. I'm an Aquarius. My troll is Iron. That's a. Sorry. It's okay. My troll is Vriska, and that's arguably worse. I had to really, like, focus on that bit. It's not even quite done. Here's the sad thing. I'm a very slow painter. I don't think I'm finishing this dude today. Because I'm very, very slow. Okay. I'm just I'm technically not supposed to sing along with Chillhawk's music. Excuse me. I wasn't singing along. I was just vocalizing my inner vibe. Bro, I've played Ronaldo Focus. Why is it censoring mod? Is there a censoring mod? I wonder if Brandon played with that. I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure he got the full Beepus in Funger 2. And I also just realized you can totally see the back of the armor plate back here. So I need to get some more Grey Knight steel and put that back there. Mother, father. I am disappointed. You never know, though. I might be able to finish this guy in the next hour. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my damn head at that. That's good. I like that. There's a Pokemon mod for Funger? Huh. That's kind of bizarre. Actually clean that off. Why? Granted, I know nothing about Funger. Maybe Pokemon makes a ton of sense for it. Oh, come on, paint. You're not that loose. You're not that watery. Stop pulling away. Let's do Taro. Cujo? The dolphin lover? Dude fucking loves dolphins. Do what did I do like that? I was thinking about doing the Ruined Brass for this little detailing here, and then maybe doing the gray sear on this one over here. I'm not sure how that would look. There it is. I'm fair. It's more to ready myself personally. That's fair. I'm an awful person, and Friska is my favorite. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. I'll think about that. I don't know how I feel about that. I could do the grays here on both sides, at least it'd be kind of symmetrical, even though they're different detailing patterns, but I will see how I feel about it when I get to it. Not 100% sure. I'm trying to be careful around here because I do want to use a contrast paint for the purity seals. They're not purity seals because it's not 40k, but I want to use a contrast paint for like the parchment and stuff hanging off here. And if there's any like color discrepancies, it'll show the contrast paint, and I don't want that. I want them to be very smooth, or as smooth as they can. Contrast paints are super cool when they work properly. And i.e. when I say when they work properly is when you know how to use them, because it's a user error, and I'm very not good at this. Trying to keep my hand steady so I can get underneath this knee pad? Knee pauldron? What the fuck are these called? They're pauldrons for the shoulder. What are they for the knees? There's gotta be some sort of medieval term for a knee guard, right? It's just knee guard? But it's spelled like A-R-D? I don't know, I'm not a medieval scholar. Magic may scope. Goodness gracious. Why is the training dummy higher damage level than ones? I don't know. Maybe because the training dummy isn't as chill as Onsen. Onsen's just a chill dude. He's there for a good time and a long time. Because he's there from the beginning. Onsen is just a bro. Dude is there just to hang out with your low-level agents, provide moral support, provide basic training. He's an all-around good guy. Okay. Oh, it's a fucking mess. Just looking at it. Okay. There's some other bits here that I can hit with this Rune Lord brass that I should get. Primarily the like outline of some of these chainmail things that I think I will commit to doing in Iron Warriors, just so it's a different metal color from the armor plate and the pauldrons and anything that's the Rune Lord brass. I don't want to get too over designed, but I think one more metallic color wouldn't, especially one that's like vaguely similar to one of them, isn't terrible. Okay, so there's a library called Chalice. I wonder what that setting would actually be. Like what the purpose of that would be. I wonder if there's like, if there was some sort of push for like child usability, for like easy meals, as like an accessibility type thing. And so they have a child setting that is then like, oh yeah, you put in any of these meals that you can buy for your child, they can put it in, hit the child button, and they're good to go. They don't need to wonder about, you know, how long to do it or power settings or anything like that. It's just an easy push of a button and they're good to go, kind of a thing. Let's put something like that. It's a good way to help like teach them like some autonomy to a kid. I'm just getting some outlining on like this chainmail dick shield that the Reclusian has. I will then paint an Iron Warriors. I think there's a little detail bit. I don't even be able to see it right there. That I think I'll make Gracier. Oh no, that's definitely an armor pad. Okay, so I definitely need to do some more Gracier, but that's fine. Yeah, there's some up in there too. Okay, that's fine. I need to do some more Gracier anyway. Back here. So I'll keep going with the Runelord Brass for now, though. And do the shield here. Or the edging on the shield, I should say. The field on the shield is going to end up being that same red color as the cloak. Which may be not a great idea because it's just going to blend into everything, but I think that's only going to be a problem on this dude. The other Reclusians have are holding their shields, so he's the only one that has the dual wield axes. So I don't think it won't be a problem. Generally speaking, it's more just this one circumstance I can't fucking see because I'm blind. This music, this track in particular, sounds like the background music to like an 80s mystery thriller. Which might be the vibe they were going for, because it has some sirens in the background too. Cinenuberal. Welcome. I have missed several spots. The thing is, you might be joking, but I know for a fact I've missed spots. But that's why we do a second code also. Try and catch those. But welcome. Hope we're having a lovely Thursday. We're doing some chill mini painting today. Bonesy, the 80s detective. That'd be Ricky T. Bones. It's another skeleton VTuber. I think his theme is he is like a detective of some sort. I feel a little out of the ordinary, I guess. I don't know how often other people talk about like other streamers that they watch on stream. At a certain point, it feels a little silly because then it's almost like an endorsement. They're like, "Hey, you should go watch this person instead." But especially when it comes to like smaller VTubers, I do want to talk about the ones that I watch and kind of things like that. Just like a way to support them, kind of a thing. On a pretty good Wednesday. How far back are you? Some of you, some new world, been a couple of them. They're not completely new. They've been to a couple. I'm honestly surprised we got a couple of new followers as early on in the stream as we did. That took me by surprise. This is a little bit more of a self-indulgent kind of a stream. Because I'm not an expert by any means, so no one's gonna learn anything from these streams. This is more so giving me an excuse to take 2 hours and try and get through my pile of shame that every wargamer seems to have. first streamers I do think that's what I'm talking to. It's my first stream. I don't say their name or I'm not trying to think there goes what I'm talking about. That's kind of the thing. I was like, maybe there's an etiquette thing there, but I don't know. I'll talk about the other people that I've watched recently or things like that, and or talk about like a game that I saw them playing and try and be like, oh man, it looked really cool. Or like if someone will remind me of something, I'll stop and be like, oh hey, yeah, it's like this person. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of the ordinary on this, and maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe it's, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't see a downside to it. It gives me something to talk about. And like maybe the downside to that point is like maybe it'll like draw people away from watching me as they go and watch other people, but I don't care. Like as much as I want to make streaming my like full-time gig, right? I still want to talk about the things that I watch and I enjoy. So like I'll talk about other VTuber themes that I see or other games that people have played if I think of it or if it comes up in a conversation. Now that said, I would advise that you don't bring up streamers unprompted in chat. That feels a little rude, but if I'm talking about someone, then it's kind of like, yeah, you know, whatever. When are you gonna play Lethal Company again? Because you need a cute as hell. What? I don't know. I want to play with people again. I don't want to play Lethal Company by myself. Maybe I'll get in contact with Morg and see if she wants to play again. Her and Lexi. But I know Morg was just dealing with some personal stuff recently, so I don't want to bother her too soon after that. But yeah, I don't know. Also, you just streamer doesn't seem like an issue for you to promote or talk about other streamers. That's kind of the thing, right? It's like going to people's chat, that's a no-go. Like I would never go into like Sky's chat or Morg's chat or Dusk or anybody and be like, oh man, I was just watching this person. No, I'm here to watch you. Kind of a thing. Or like I would never stop and like, or like I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I'm gonna go watch this person instead because that's rude. And it makes the streamer feel bad. Like the person you're currently watching feel bad. But while I'm streaming, I'll fucking talk about the people I've been watching, or the games that I saw someone else playing, kind of a thing. And like I said, especially for like other small streamers, other small VTubers, it's kind of me just talking about them, and maybe more people will go watch them, and I would love that for them. Been a while since I've seen Morgan stream for a while. I think Morgan's just really busy. They've, like I said, they had some personal stuff kind of come up, and they've been very busy, particularly this week. So yeah, that's kind of the other thing too. Like, I don't want anybody to feel like they need to come and watch me, especially people that like I've collabed with, or people that I actually might know on some more personal level rather than a streamer viewer relationship. I don't want anybody to feel pressure to come watch my stuff. That's why the VODs are there. If anyone wants to watch with VODs, I encourage you to. But even then, you do you. Life is too short to have other people tell you what to do. Unfortunately, we live in a capitalist hellscape, and you have to go to work and have a job. And if people tell you what to do. But unfortunately, that's the reality we live in. Hope all's well. It sounds like they're doing okay. They use any pronouns, but I default to like, I want to try and default to something like they when it's like, oh, I go by any pronouns, like that, because they is very, you know, gender neutral kind of a thing. I'm trying to be better about that. But at that point, like any pronouns works for Morg, so it's kind of whatever. I can go she and slip up or whatnot. But they seem to be doing okay. Like I said, they just had some personal stuff that I don't want to get into on stream. Like I just follow them on Twitter. I don't know if they're full what's going on with them, but they seem to be doing okay, and I'm glad they're doing okay. other than that, yeah. My brother nuts. There's a bit of white visible back there, and it bothers me. It's right under the head, and I can't quite get to it because I'm gonna touch the head with the Rune Lord brass, and I don't want to do that. I want it to be gray. I don't want to have an orange splotch across it. Sweet roll. Something about adding a rim shot sound effect. Sound alert. I think that was one that I did think of. I was like, I should add that as sound alert, and then I never did because I have those thoughts during work, and then I don't do them because I forget to do them after work. What time is it? Oh my goodness gracious! I'm gonna get 2 fucking colors on this guy. Because I'm a slow bitch. You know what? Fuck it. You sound like my uncle. Alright, I say fuck it. Because I want to get at least 3 colors on this dumbass. And we only have half an hour left in the stream. So I'm gonna get the yellow and the red on him. Hopefully. Hopefully look at both of them. Ooh, why are you so blurry? Focus, please. The shadow. I'm just shaking the yellow. That's all I'm doing. Something else I learned from watching Cabal's stream when they were painting their Thousand Suns was you shouldn't shake like up and down. You should do like side to side. Apparently doing up and down introduces more air bubbles. And that dries out your paint faster. And side to side, it kind of just swooshes it back and forth more rather than just getting it up and down and incorporating those air bubbles in. Apparently side to side is better than up and down. Shadow puppets win. I cannot do shadow puppets. I have 2 conflicting lights, one over that direction. That way, and then one up. So that's why there's like kind of it's like not consistent. Okay. Alright, I'm going to move you because I will just by muscle memory start dipping it into the metallic paint, and I don't want to do that. I want the fresh paint. Hands, exactly. Mega Eevee. Like I said, white man jump scare. Welcome to the stream. Hope everyone got a lovely Thursday. Or whatever time of day it be for you. It might be Friday even, where you're at. I can't remember. I feel so bad. I can never remember who is what time zones and whatnot. So this is a layer. This is Phalanx Yellow. So technically this like shouldn't be a base color, but I'm gonna make it a base color for the inside of the cloak. Just so I have a sort of brighter color on it. I don't know if you have VR. If you do, you should get good people do socialize and something that would be really good. I do not have VR, and here's the thing: the only reason I would want to get VR. Well, the only reason I want to get VR, period, right now, is to play Beat Saber again. I played it once at a friend's house, and I just want to play Beat Saber. This is a layer, so it's very thin. I don't know how it's going to work with how the under of this is going to be very dark. Hopefully it'll work well enough. This brush might also be a little big for this purpose, but I'm committing to it. It's 11 Central Time. PST, nice. That's what I was afraid of. Oh, goodness, this brush is too big. This brush is far too big. Yeah, the brush is too big. I need a smaller brush. I'm really good at VTuber. No life. I played it the one time and I beat his high record, like his high score on one of his things. So I think I am okay at it as well. Surprisingly. Do I want to go with a 0 or do I go with the 0 size brush? Zero might be even a little too small, but I want to be careful around some of the details here. But yeah, I really enjoyed Beat Saber. I really want to play it again. To the point where that's like the main reason why I want to get VR. I have no plans on getting VR now because VRs are expensive as hell. But yeah, that's my story. I know these little mistakes are fine because I can always go back with my other colors and cover it up. Trying to get the inside of this cloak here. It's not going well. Primarily because this is probably a layer. Leave the outside red though. Ugh. Sorry. The first word, goodness gracious. Okay. The 0's too small for that. I think the 2 I can get away with. 4. Maybe not. Maybe I'll take the other 1 that I grabbed. Just go through all my brushes here. Just so I can try and reach where I want to reach. Sorry, I'm having to focus a little bit more on this because it's a weird fucking angle to get into. And I'm really struggling to not get it all over the place. This is gonna get a dark wash for sure because it is very bright under there. In all reality, actually, I probably should have gotten like the yellow contrast paint for this. That probably would have worked best. Maybe I'll get that before I do the next reclusion. because it would have nestled nicely in the crevices of the cloak under here. A bit better than how this is. In all reality, actually, I probably should have done this first before doing the metallic armor, because then I could have just easily covered it up with any brushes I would have gotten onto it. Just can't freaking see. It's fine, that'll get covered up. Oh, it's on time for some sleep. I hope this turns out well. Okay, have a good rest. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out for a little bit. Take care of yourself. Get some rest. Ugh, yeah. Have a good one. Just very focused. Oops, I apologize. Because it's like there's enough visible with this cloak to be causing me grief. Like I said, in all reality, I think a contrast paint would have been a better idea here. But this is why I'm not a professional. Live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn. On the words of yesterday. Then there's also this. Damn you, James Workshop. I don't know what to talk about anymore. I've lost it. I've lost it. I will say, this yellow looks pretty cool though. As much as it's kind of a pain in my ass, I am a fan of it. It's a little bright, but honestly, I kind of dig it. Now the problem is my own technical skill as a painter that is hindering me from being able to do this well, and also probably the type of paint. But the poor carpenter blames his tools. If I was using the correct tools to begin with, I wouldn't be having this issue. Mother father. Well, if I also wasn't a clumsy bitch. That would also help immensely. Try again later. I think we're still fine. Let me double check. Fuck off with the... I don't want to do the fucking stream together. No, I think we're good. Alright. Just double checking. Never know with these things. Anyway. I forgot to scrape off a bit there. And it is bugging me immensely. Nothing I can do about it now. Other than try and pass it off as another wrinkle, another fold in the cloak itself. No one will buy it. It's very obviously a bit of sprue that I just missed. Let's get up under here. And then up under here. I think I need to go out and get a similar quality yellow, and I think I would like to do it in a contrast, just so I can make this a bit easier on myself, if I'm perfectly honest. Yes, there we go. The contrast is nice because it flows and sort of creates it creates a contrast of highs and lows and shadows and things like that. So it works very well for like organics and cloth. And I don't know why I didn't consider it before. Because honestly, for something like this, where you're doing just a big old cape, a big old cloak, works very well. And adding that like cloth-like texture to it. I really should have thought about this harder. But that's okay. Lesson learned, and I will pick some up before the next time I do this, which, like I said, I might want to do once a week. This is a wind down towards the end of the week kind of a thing. Because it's this is the thing with layers. It's not really meant for these big areas types of things, and I knew that when I was getting it, but I was just like, I like the color, and I'm gonna just do it. And it was a bit of a mistake. Alright, so there's a yellow. So next up, I'm going to do some Blood Angels red on the rest of this cloak here. To do the rest of the cloak, the outside of the cloak now. Just shaking it up so it's nice and incorporated. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. Come on, there we go. Okay. I think I'm gonna take this one because it has a shorter bristle. Now the thing with contrast paint is you can do it almost straight out of the pot because it is meant to like be kind of globbed on and guided around. So I'm just gonna take a bit of it here and just start in on this undercloak here. Okay, it's a little okay, that's just a blood splatter now. Oh well. It is what it is. Boy, yeah, I might need to get like a yellow base or something, or maybe I should have done this first. Because I'm gonna get all over that yellow. The idea being that you kind of guide the contrast into the recesses. So it creates those natural shadows. Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely touch some of these up because I'm a sloppy bitch. Let's get over here. Try and bring it down. As best we can. I gotta try and get like the edge of the cloth as well, which I need to like touch up with the yellow. It's a little sloppy, but I'm very sloppy, so that's how it's gonna be. Bottom of it down here. Yeah, I'm very sloppy, but that's fine. We'll just have to go over it. Now this side I want to be a little more careful on because this is more so what's visible. That's with the upper part done. You can kind of get some of these under as well. Try and get the edge of the cloak. It's gonna get weird, but we're gonna go up in here a little bit. I think I need a stronger red to do the edge of the cloak. It's really just not covering it, which I kind of expected. It is a contrast base. It's not really meant to cover anything. And I did just realize I missed a bit of Runelord Brass. And that's fine. Alright, this big open area, this is what we wanted here. You really don't want your contrast paint to pool on those big open areas. It pooling in the recesses, that's what you want. But on like these high areas, you don't really want it to be there. You want to try and guide it away from that. I'm gonna take and like cover up this edge a little bit, even though it doesn't really matter because it's not gonna cover it. I do need something a little bit stronger for that. I might take some like Mephiston red or something there. But you can kind of see even like from the top of the shoulder here, you can see how it kind of pools in those crevices to create those sort of natural shadows. And that's what you want out of your contrast paints. Is what it's going to pool into these recesses here and have these higher light areas on the back of the cloak there. But at that point, it is time to call it. It's not close, please. Thank you. Like I said, it's a little messy. I would be saying if it weren't. I would be lying if it weren't. But that's the reality that we live in, where I'm not a good painter. Like, I might take a little bit of this and see if I can cover it a little bit. But this is a layer paint after all. It's not really meant to cover anything. You get away with it a little bit, but not a lot. To a certain point, I might need to get base or something to cover that up more. Well, we can cover up a little bit. But I'm going to call it there because it is time for me to call it there. I think I said I don't think I'm going to finish even one dude in 2 hours, and I didn't, because I'm very slow. But you can see like there's some red there that I missed, or that I hit. I think I need to get one, I need to get another yellow, I need to get a base. The layer just ain't gonna cut it. I'm still learning on what these paints will and won't do when it comes to behaving the way I want it to. What are you focusing on? Where are you? I don't know what I was trying to focus on. Is it focusing on you? Ugh. Like this. Negative. Like this. There we go. Put this down here so we can try and get you a look at what we're ending on. It really just wants to focus on my fucking desk. That's all it wants, is my desk. But so the plan is, I'm gonna take, I was just complaining about layers, but I'm going to take some of this Troll Slayer orange and try and make some of this more like fiery up here on the red bits here. I need to find a yellow base to help sort of clean up the yellow in here, because it's kind of splotchy, and like I said, there's some red here and there that I need to cover up now. And also grab a red. I have Mephiston red, so it should be fine to like sort of do the edge of the cloak as well. And then touch up some of these metallic parts that got kind of run over with yellow and red. Touch that up. They need their second layer anyway, so it's kind of whatever. But but not too bad. Not terrible progress for the evening. I think I will just go ahead and end it here. Probably won't do any excuse me, yeah, get out of here. Probably won't do a guess the game just because it kind of looks like everybody's gone to bed anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna call it there. Thanks everyone who did hang out and watched and everything like that, gave bits and so then followed and whatnot. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good evening. Saturday we'll be picking up Cult of the Lamb, where we do we'll be trying to get through Darkwood more, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. Won't rate anybody out or anything like that. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Everybody have a good whatever time of day it be for you, and yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.